The Trump tax cuts, their law, and they're benefiting a lot of people across the country, although not everybody is happy. Today, we saw a protest that involved, and you don't see this every day, a 30-foot inflatable chicken. I'm joined now by Seth Hahn, who is the political director for one of the largest public workers unions in New Jersey, the Communication Workers of America. Seth, what's with the chicken?
We had the chicken out today. We asked Representative MacArthur not to chicken out here and to do his part to repeal these tax cuts.
How tall was the chicken actually? It looked to be about 18 feet to me. You sure it was 30?
I'm not quite sure it was 30. I was hoping for a little taller. I'd say about 26, 27 feet maybe.
All right. Look, I got to fact check you guys. All right. So let me, a serious question. I've had many conversations with Congressman MacArthur about the tax cuts, not just in his district, but across the state. There are two things that jumped out at me. One, they say that about 8 in 10 New Jerseyans are going to benefit from the tax cuts despite the cap on the SALT deductions. And across the country, somewhere around 7 in 10 filers use the standard deduction, which doubled. So what part of this don't you like? Well,
I think the first thing is if you look at people on the very high end, some people making $730,000 a year or more, they're going to get a $50,000 a year tax cut. People in the middle income range are going to see a fraction of that. So one, it's fundamentally unfair. And two, on the back end, we're going to be talking about cuts to Medicare and Medicaid in a district like Tom MacArthur's. That's very important. People are going to see that their tax cut eaten up by higher premiums on healthcare.
So what do you want to accomplish with the big chicken?
We're trying to draw attention to the fact that Tom MacArthur was the only person in New Jersey who thought these were a good idea. With those SALT deductions, New Jersey got one of the worst deals of any state in the country. We think Tom MacArthur should do his part to stop it.
But isn't the real problem here that New Jerseyans are overtaxed and the politicians in Trenton have done nothing about it for 30 years?
New Jersey's about 11th as far as share of income that goes to state and local taxes. The real problem is that it's focused too heavily on property.
Okay. Seth, good to talk to you. Thanks. All right, let's bring in the A-plus panel to break it down. Lisa Durden, pop culture expert. Always good to see you, Lisa. And Republican Mayor Randy Brown from Evesham, New Jersey. Good to see you, Mr. Mayor. Thanks for coming back. And Democratic strategist Bill Caruso joins us. Good to see you, Bill. Randy, I'm going to start with you. You are a mayor of Evesham, New Jersey. You're a Republican.
Yes.
How did it impact people in your town? And what do you say to a guy that runs a public worker union, or at least is a spokesman for it, saying the rich got richer?
Well, first off, he's an endangered species right now. Considering where the Supreme Court might rule on unions, this could be a whole different ball game.
Saying that the Supreme Court is actually has a case that could decide whether or not these unions can force people to join.
Absolutely. I'm interested come June. Residents in Evesham are bringing more money home. In our house, in the Brown household, we're bringing $400 a month more home. Our neighbors are bringing more money home now, and they're seeing it. I support Tom MacArthur. I support the tax cuts. It's only going to bring more money home to our residents, and that's the key.
Well, if that's the argument, you're going to throw on top of that a tax break for the top 1%, on top of that fact, if that's your argument, and I'm sure where you live, folks are bringing more money home because they're rich. That's the problem.
Bill, does this show CWA kind of out of touch? I mean, MacArthur has doubled down on Donald Trump. He doubled down on the tax cuts. Matter of fact, it's because of Tom MacArthur that $10,000 deduction stayed in, if you really want to break it down. And it looks like he's going to win re-election handily.
Well, we'll see about that. That's for the voters to decide. CWA has a point here, and my friends on the liberal side of the world have a point. I'm not a big believer in the soak the rich argument, and this argument that somebody's getting more, like probably paid more too, right? So that's not my argument. What are we getting as an American public in a value, and what are we getting as a New Jersey public? We were promised reinvestment, right? I haven't seen that. We've actually seen a lot of layoffs happen as a result of this around the country. I'm not sure we got a good deal here.
The real question is, what is the government here going to do about the high tax burden? Because no matter what happens at the federal level, we're overtaxed.
I was just going to say to you, forget about what happened at the federal level at this point. We have a tax problem here in New Jersey, okay? That has to be dealt with. Our property taxes are out of control, and we don't have a real plan to deal with that.
But don't forget the reason why your property taxes are out of control is because of health care. That's the problem.
It's because we've had legislators that have done nothing
if we had universal
for at least
health
the last
care,
20 years.
that would lower the tax base.
We're going to do a whole show on taxes coming up at some point. All right, I would like to do that.
Universal health care, please.
All right, thank you guys. Always good to see you. Appreciate you being here.